We are back in the Florida Keys to share another attraction we experienced on our recent trip. In this video, we visit Pigeon Key, a small historic island with a cool history located under the old 7 Mile Bridge. We're going to tell you all about our experience exploring the island in this video. We met up at the Visitor Center near mile marker 47.5 in nearby Marathon, Florida, and bought tickets, which are $30 for adults and $25 for kids 12 and under. Then we boarded the Pigeon Key Express for a short drive along the Overseas Highway before turning off onto the old 7 Mile Bridge that was once part of the Overseas Railroad. Before there were bridges providing a way to drive through the Keys down to Key West, there was the Overseas Railroad where people could ride a train down to Key West. This island played an important role in the creation of that railroad. Here is an overhead view from the island's website, pigeonkey.net. You can see the island sits under the old bridge that was once part of the railroad. Across the water from that is the newer bridge built for automobile traffic. Once we got on the island, we met up with our tour guide.
We got to tour several of the buildings on this 5-acre island, all of which were on the National Register of Historic Places. The buildings were part of a camp where as many as 400 railroad workers lived between 1908 and 1912. The project to build the Overseas Railroad was designed by a man named Henry Flagler, who was a developer of resort hotels and railroads in eastern Florida. Our tour guide showed us around some of these buildings where the workers lived. The buildings are now used as a museum, a gift shop, and some educational space. Our guide told us about the history of the island and the railroad. When Flagler got the idea to extend the railroad from Miami all the way down to Key West, many doubters called the project Flagler's Folly. But after years of difficult labor, the railroad bridges from island to island to get to Key West were completed. The project was then known as the Eighth Wonder of the World, as people marveled that bridges sturdy enough to carry railroad tracks through the ocean could be built. The first train arrived in Key West in January 1912, having successfully traveled the 156-mile railroad from Miami, much of it over the water. The museum and buildings tell the story of the men who endured extreme heat, hurricanes, mosquitoes, and illnesses to complete this project. The Overseas Railroad was in use until the Labor Day hurricane of 1935, which caused great damage in parts of the Florida Keys and resulted in over 400 deaths. Over 40 miles of the Overseas Railroad were washed away by the hurricane. They were never rebuilt. Instead, the state of Florida built the Overseas Highway for visitors to drive down to Key West using some of the remaining railroad structure. Today, the island of Pigeon Key is used for educational purposes, hosting marine biology field trips and summer camps. And of course, they educate tourists about the island's history through tours like the one we took. The island has also been used as a filming location for shows such as The Amazing Race, which ended its 18th season on Pigeon Key. It's also been used as a filming location for several movies, including True Lies and Too Fast, Too Furious.
The train tours run 4 times a day. Your group is picked up about 2 hours after they are dropped off. During your time on the island, you can take the tour, or fish, or snorkel, or just enjoy the sights on your own. You can also walk or bike your way to Pigeon Key along the old 7-mile bridge. If you walk or bike over, you can purchase tour tickets once you get on the island at the lower cost of $15 per adult and $12 for kids. Our tour guide was great, and this was a cool way to spend a couple of hours. They even have a pool where some nurse sharks and tarpon live. If you are on the island during the second or third tours of the day, you can help feed these fish. For more adventures in the Florida Keys, click the link at the end of this video to see our Florida Keys playlist. And be sure to subscribe and click the notification bell so we can see you the next time we're traveling through.